Hey everybody, Chris Bober here, and welcome back to our Building a Lineman series on the Bober Academy Football Podcast. I'm Chris Bober, 8 years in the NFL, 2 different teams, played every position, and I'm here with Dr. Nolan Clausen of Midwest Movement in Elkhorn, and we're going to continue our series about building a lineman, and we're going to just give you practical exercises like we did the last couple of months. We worked on our lower extremities and our feet on the ground, worked on our hips. Hope you guys have been doing that. We're going to come to what's Nolan's favorite today, right? Nolan loves doing core work, okay, and especially breathing. And before we get into that, just a reminder, if you're listening to this podcast, make sure you subscribe to our channel. If you're watching it, right down there is a little button to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And at Bober Academy is our handle on all the social media. So send us questions, send us videos or pictures of you guys doing it, and we're going to give you some great stuff here today. Now, we're going to work really on core strength today. And it's so important for linemen, and every athlete, right?
Yeah.
But for linemen, the way I relate it is, as a lineman, I try to get the guys to play in a football position, right? They have feet on the ground, they have a good base, and then they have low hips, right? So we're engaging our power from our hips through the ground, but where does that power go, right? Because this is where the power comes, but these are our weapons, right? Our upper body is generally where we strike. Right in between here, this core area is the connection between our power and our weapons. Yep. So it has to be super strong. It has to be able to take and correlate that power from here to here as you strike, right?
Correct. Yep. It's got to transfer all that crazy power that we create with those big muscles and be able to transfer it into our hips. And a lot of times in athletics, we maybe disengage our core or lose the ability to maximize it. And so then we lose that energy that we created with our hips. So one of the biggest things that we talk about is breathing. And breathing is a way that we can basically tap into the potential of our core. So that's where we start with.
Well, I know that even for pretty much every injury that comes in and you work with, the first thing you work on is breathing, right? That's how important it is.
Yeah, it's as boring as a rash, but it's paramount to getting people better.
Absolutely. I know if I'm feeling like I got some pain or something, some of the exercises we're doing today, we've done before.
Yep.
I'll lay down and I'll do these, and just the breathing exercises will make so much of that pain go away. But to take it beyond just the pain, we're going to talk about functionality as an offensive lineman and how that works, right?
Yep. So first thing, we're going to start on our back. Chris is just going to lay right here. And usually we just get like he's set up perfectly. Feet flat on the ground, knees bent. He's got one hand on chest, one hand on belly. And the reason is he just wants to have the belly hand rise. He's doing a really good job. If you've never done breathing exercises, it's not as easy as he's making it look. But because we've worked on him a little bit before, he's a pro athlete. He knows how to use his body. We are able to tap into that. So he's just getting really good breath, good expansion into the belly. The reason is we need that belly to fill with air to create the pressure that we're going to use for our core exercises. So he's doing a really good job there. We're going to level this up a little bit. He's just going to lift his legs about 90-90. He's not going to cross them. Good. And one of the good things that he's already doing is he's keeping his back flat against the ground, still breathing. And he can tell you this is a little bit of hard work right here.
You start feeling it.
Yep. His legs are shaking a little bit. That's because he's using more quads than he is core. Good. If you can't get your low back on the ground, just lift your legs just a little bit higher. We're just getting good breaths in there. This is just priming this whole core system so that he's able to tap into it. Now, from here, he's going to go both arms up here, just kind of hold them there, and we're going to do what we call dead bugs. So he's going to keep this leg still, keeping his back pressed into the ground. He's going to reach out with one. So he's already going arm. That makes it a lot harder. That's okay. Good. Then he's going to go opposite arm, opposite leg, never letting the back come up off the ground. Good. Continuing to breathe and create pressure into the belly. Just going back and forth. Good. He's starting to shake. Shaking is learning. It's not weakness. He's learning how to use this system. Good. One of the signs that we'll see is when somebody does this wrong is if they go this arm and they arch their back, you'll see their ribs flare. We don't want to see those ribs flare. We want to see those ribs pinned down. Good job. Okay, take a little break, Chris, until we grab our next exercise. We're going to do what we call band shooters. I think this is the easiest cheat code to do what he just did really well. And not everybody can do it as well as Chris just did. But if we can do this exercise, then we can kind of cheat the system. So what he's going to do, he's going to grab his right knee, hug it towards his chest. He's going to straighten his left leg, get that resistance. Pretend like he's got to keep his knee up against my hand, and then he's going to relax.
Oh.
Good. You feel that?
I definitely feel that.
Feel that core. Look how good and pressure he has it. And what he's going to do is bring the left leg up. He's going to try to keep that knee as high as he can. Straighten that right one. Get it higher. Touch my hand. There you go.
You definitely feel that.
Yep. Go back and forth. Get it up here. There you go.
You made that harder.
Yep.
Oh.
Good. Come back. So this band is really small and thin, but this is making him work hard.
Yeah, it is.
Good. And relax.
Whew.
So, like, that'll tear you up super quick. All right, let's go on our hands and knees. We'll just like right here. Okay. If you want to go on your fists, you can, or your hands. Yep. So now what we're going to work on is our ability to create breath into our belly in this position. Good. It's a little bit harder than when we were laying on our back because we don't have any positive reinforcement. Like we were pushing into the ground, pushing our belly up towards the air. We're suspended here. So we're starting to get closer to football position. Good. So now, he's going to breathe in and he's going to create pressure in that belly. He's going to hold that pressure. He's going to curl his toes underneath. And he's going to lift his knees a half inch off the ground, both of them at the same time.
Oh, goodness.
And he's going to breathe. This is called a bear plank. And he's just breathing in here. You can tell you this is hard.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of this over just doing planks. Good. And back down. That was tough, right?
Yeah. Thank you for not making me do too many of these.
We're going to make this one a little bit harder now, okay?
Okay.
So we want you to build that pressure. Then we're going to come up a half inch. Good. We're going to lift our left toes off the ground.
Oh, goodness.
Good. Try not to put left toes back down. Right toes up. Good. We got a glass of water back down. We're trying not to spill that glass of water. Now let's go right hand.
With this off the ground?
Yep.
Oh, that's hard.
Yeah, it was really hard.
Yeah, that's super hard.
And then let's go good and left hand. Good. Back down.
That's difficult.
If you can lift your right hand or your left hand a half inch off the ground and not move the rest of your body, you are like an elite athlete in this position. You have elite control of your core, right? So this is just a little bit harder. Chris has never done this, so we're going to give him another shot at this.
All right.
So you come back up, create pressure.
Yep.
So when you want to get your right or left hand off the ground, create more pressure in the belly. So double up that pressure. Now go. Good. Back down.
Yeah, that's difficult.
Yeah, that's a really good way to try to incorporate this core and be able to lift that hand off. So we're creating a bunch of dynamic movement there.
Whew.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right, let's go move on to another one. So we're going to go kneeling right here. And we call this a Pallof press. And we're just going to go right there.
Okay.
Okay? And face, yep, square up. So all he's going to do is press that band straight out in front. The band is trying to pull him that way. It's also trying to tilt him this way, rotate that way, and all of these forces are trying to push. Now, Chris, do you feel it more in your core or your back?
Probably more my core.
Good.
Yeah.
If Chris said that he felt it more in his back, then we need to scoop our pelvis or tuck our tailbone between our legs so that we get more core. So Chris, I want you to try to double down on that. Not arching your back,
Okay.
but like,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah, it definitely isolates it a little more.
Yep. Okay. Good. Hold that out there. Now we're going to make this a little bit harder. So it's here. We're going to try to bring that right leg out in front of us.
Oh, that's not easy. Now I do the same thing?
Yep. This should be easier almost
Yeah.
with that leg. Hold there. Now try to bring that leg back.
Yeah, that's hard to hold back.
Yeah. And then let's go in,
go back
press
out
out. It's going to be almost impossible with that inside leg. So let's just try it on the right.
Okay.
So come back down. Good. Press out.
A little better.
Yep. Back in. Press out. Bringing that right leg back. Good. What's really good is he's having to stack with this hip and his core to try to do this movement. So he is learning how to control everything with this left hip by doing that. Okay, let's go the other way. So turn and face this way.
I'll come over here so it has a little better angle.
There you go. Good. So press out. Let's do like 3 reps that way. Feeling core or back?
So core.
So core. Good. If you're feeling your back muscles work, it's usually you're not getting your core engaged enough. One way is to create pressure with the breath. The other way is to tuck that pelvis underneath us. Good. Hold out there. Now let's go left leg out. Good. Press back out. And bring it back in.
Yeah.
Does that seem harder or easier on this side?
A little easier.
A little easier. It looked easier. Good. Back in.
Yeah.
Good.
I have a little more control on the side.
So, I know Chris is sweating. I can feel it.
Yeah.
And that was like 5 minutes, 10 minutes of just straight core work. And I'm sure he's gassed.
Mm-hmm.
But that is just a little workout that you could do. If you did that, you would be lifting your hands in that bear plank position, no problem. You'd be able to transfer your weight and move your hip, no problem, and be able to engage that core on the football field much easier.
Nice. Now, one of the things is that all the ones you have?
Yep, that's all I got. Yeah.
Now, one of the things I like to teach my linemen, and Nolan taught me this, is when it comes to your core, is that as a society, we want to keep our bellies flat, right? But really, as linemen, we want to stick them out.
Yes.
And what I have my guys do is when they go to strike, I have them grunt, right? And you talked about like the tennis players who, when they would hit, they're like, ah, screaming. And I know that if they can grunt when they're striking, then their core is engaged. And what we see for linemen is there's just a bad coaching out there, right? When people do pass protection, they put their head back. Well, they just disengage that core. And as you said, they suck that diaphragm up. And when they go try to grunt from here, it's like, ugh. But if they go try to grunt from up here, it's like, ugh. Like I lost my voice doing that.
Yeah.
And that's like a good signal whether or not you're using your core and you're engaged with your power and your weapon. So don't be afraid, linemen, to let that belly hang out and to give it some grunting when you're striking, because that means you're strong, right?
Right. Yeah, we aren't trying to prove anybody how good we look in our jerseys anyways. So.
Yeah, we know how good we look.
Yeah.
Right? Anyway, so that's awesome stuff. Now, included with this, of course, we'll have a link to Nolan's website so you can check him out if you have any injuries, top to bottom. He'll help you out. We're also going to have a little bit of a one sheet that'll show these and give you like a progression to do. So thanks a lot for joining us on our Building Alignment series, Dr. Nolan.
Yep.
Thank you so much again, in 5 minutes, making me get out of breath. But really, really good stuff here. As you can see, if you can just do this a little bit of this a day, 2-3 times a week, you're going to be a much better football player, and you're going to dominate on the gridiron. We'll see you next time.